The Squid Game has officially started in the Kursk region. North Korean orcs launched a massive assault. Just like in Squid Game, not everyone survived the first round.
Gotcha, idiot.
Amazingly, Kim's tin soldiers attacked in a chain formation, just like at Borodino. But apparently, no one told them that the Ukrainian armed forces are armed not with flintlock rifles, but with machine guns and flying FPV drones. The result of such a banzai attack was very grim for the North Korean comrades. Dozens of Juche followers were killed. The Koreans' reaction to the FPV drone is clear even without a translator. See, you hesitated. You hesitated. It feels like the Koreans, after more than 2 months as part of the occupying army, haven't heard anything at all about FPV drones. The communication between them and the Russians is at the level of 2 matchboxes and a string. According to Ukrainian soldiers, the Koreans are using tactics from 70 years ago in their attacks. How the exchange of experience and preparation for modern combat took place remains a mystery.
I don't know.
Perhaps the North Koreans drank up all the Russian language dictionaries in the first few days and shot the only translator for sneezing in the presence of a portrait of Kim Jong-un.
In short, I don't like any of this. If you open your mouth one more time, I'll execute you.
And do you remember how propaganda claimed that the immortal North Korean special forces could stop a tank with their bare hands and walk into a burning oil depot? Volodin calendars. What's the confusion? If something hit the face after Russia, the threshold of all the classics, right? North Korean propaganda is a separate art form. Even Moscow's Z military correspondents have had their retinas warped by it. The North Koreans write about the Russian army as a bunch of backward savages who have come to be trained by Kim's great warriors. A quote from the Korean Central News Agency. The joint exercises gave Russian soldiers a unique opportunity to learn from one of the most well-trained and professional armies in the world. North Korean instructors demonstrate advanced technologies and strategic thinking, which makes it possible to overcome even the most complex defensive lines.
Fantastic. I'm really glad that we have such a truly wonderful plane.
Sir, that's a bus. Shut up.
We've seen these so-called users of modern technology whose pants practically fell off at the sight of the internet. The Z supporters complain that the Korean soldiers have become massively addicted to porn, and now they don't even have the strength to hold a rifle.
Oh my goodness!
Apparently, using their unique strategic thinking, the North Korean soldiers, out of fear, opened fire on the Kadyrovites.
In the Kursk region, North Korean soldiers were hit by a cluster munition. There was some kind of confusion going on over there. So, by mistake, they thinned out the Kadyrov Special Forces by about 20 or 30 people, who were then immediately hit by our artillery.
As a result, 8 dondons were taken out. Honestly, it's hard to argue that this is the wrong kind of strategic thinking. Karma always finds the scoundrel.
Hey, come here. What's your nationality?
Korean.
Korean! There you go. Because of this Korean guy we have in Akhmat, the whole of Ukraine, all of America, and all of Europe are in an uproar. It's all happening because of you, right?
The most interesting thing is that the North Koreans are helping Putin not as allies, but as dealers for money. Russia pays North Korea $200 million every month, and also supplies hundreds of thousands of tons of rice and space technologies. A fair price for such a cosmic landing force.
Fulfill duty!
Fulfilling duty!
The Kremlin is showering North Korea with food and money, while at the same time introducing food ration cards for its own population. Yes, the very same ones, just like in the days of developed socialism. Such a geostrategic proposal was voiced in the State Duma. The patriots can already start rejoicing, as their cherished dream will come true, just like it used to be.
Classic Soviet quality. They don't make them like that anymore.
quality, 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 quality. From those times, indeed.
They've already started testing ration cards in Kamchatka, where they've introduced fish coupons. So you understand, fish ration cards in Kamchatka are like banana ration cards in Ecuador. Not even like a shoemaker without shoes, it's a shoemaker without legs.
What the H?
But Putin can't refuse to use expensive, pricey Korean friends because there's a catastrophic shortage of his own cutlets. Otherwise, how else can you explain the unprecedented scale of raids on conscripts? And not just anywhere, but already in Moscow.
In Moscow, this practice has been observed for at least the past 2 years. Before that, it also took place, although not on such a large scale, simply because the system didn't allow it.
In addition to public places like the metro, workplaces and educational institutions, there have been recorded cases where police stopped cars and forcibly pulled conscripts out of vehicles.
This isn't mobilization, it's just a regular conscription of draftees. It's abundantly clear and unmistakable what awaits them next. Without a doubt, some individuals are forced to sign a contract under pressure, threats, and even torture. Those who refuse are still, without exception, dispatched to the front in the Kursk region because, according to the law, conscripts can participate in combat operations on Russian territory.
Moscow residents were informed about the prospects for those who are now assigned to this so-called romantic tank division. Everyone spends 4 to 5 months in headquarters, while others are sent to the border, and it was stated explicitly that this concerns the Kursk and Bryansk regions.
Getting into the Russian army is almost a 100% guarantee of ending up at war in a meat grinder assault. Russians need to avoid conscription just as much as they need to avoid mobilization. Although in reality, it's the same thing. In the swamps, mobilization has never been cancelled. It's just that, until recently, it was quietly carried out in the provinces. And now, apparently, the flow of mercenaries has sharply decreased, so the serfs are being driven into the ranks again.
Give us more meat, please! Just give us more meat, now!
The number of people willing to voluntarily sign a contract has dropped for 2 reasons. Word of mouth, in the form of coffins and cripples, is spreading the grim reality of the special military operation across the whole country. There aren't many people willing to live for just 10 to 14 days, even for 3 million rubles. Especially considering that these rubles are nothing like what they were even 6 months ago.
Dr. Bergman, please leave the caviar alone. I beg you.
The second factor is the Kremlin's inhumane treatment of its own orcs. They're simply cheated out of their money, and instead of being honored, people just wipe their feet on their bewildered faces.
Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich, Comrade Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation, the families of fallen heroes and Wagner PMC fighters from the Republic of Tatarstan are addressing you. We ask you to help resolve the pressing issues regarding the status of Wagner PMC fighters. And in response, we receive formal replies from various agencies telling us that we are not entitled to anything, no payments, no benefits.
How can one live in Russia and be surprised by Russian realities?
According to the decree of the head of the Republic, a regional payment of 2 million rubles is made to the families of the deceased. However, this does not apply to the families of Wagner members. Neither the families nor the children receive any payments. We were told, you are nobody. You are neither the Ministry of Defense nor volunteers. So these payments do not apply to you.
What can you expect from a government headed by an old man with dementia? On December 16th, Putin once again launched his hazelnut factory into serial production. Apparently, he forgot that he had already done this on November 28th.
Serial production of the hazelnut system has begun. A ballistic missile without nuclear hypersonic equipment was used. In the near future, serial production of such systems should be ensured to protect the security of Russia and our allies. And this, without a doubt, will be done.
Why did they even let him out of the hospital?
The head of foreign intelligence, Narishkin, also a victim of moment glue, even declared that Russia has practically achieved all the objectives of the special military operation. And Defense Minister Belousov reported that in 2024 he destroyed half of the entire Ukrainian army. It's hard to understand then why they're rounding up students from all the dormitories and buying North Korean Moglis in bulk. But there's no need to explain anything to the serfs. Their job is to gnaw on cheap pasta with Russian cards and churn out children for the army like on an assembly line.
tell me, please, why is the birth rate so low in Russia? In your opinion, could you explain?
Because what is the point of giving birth away? And then what? The state doesn't help with anything, so why have children at all?
In the past.
They send them off, right? In the past, living conditions were different, but now they're gone. Now people are just surviving. I think that says it all.
I would like to remind you that this video is created for entertainment purposes and contains elements of satire and irony. All facts and events are presented in a hyperbolized or exaggerated form to convey a comedic or dramatic effect. Our goal is not to mislead, but to highlight humor. Please take it with a smile.